I think we're all still in shock. Both at the same time, it was you felt it personally, but then we're also MPs, and we think about the broader security issues. I know I'm just feeling pretty numb, and I'm particularly upset that the soldier that we lost is a fellow Hamiltonian, which makes it all the more difficult.
Absolutely.
So
it's an exhausting day. It was absolutely exhausting. It was very difficult to be sequestered in a place where you didn't really have any information coming, but you knew that was the only thing, the only possibility that could play out. There was nobody that had any information that could have been provided at that point in time. But
what do you think this means to security on Parliament Hill? Is it going to change forever now?
It usually does after incidents like this. It ratchets down a little bit more, but there's always the balance of not wanting to turn our Parliament, the people's house, into an armed camp. So you're always looking for that balance, but every time one of these things happens, the rebalancing ends up being things are tightened up a little bit more. As discouraging and disappointing as that is, I think that will be the inevitable outcome, is that there'll be a review and a tightening, and we'll still try to find that balance where we can keep the people that work there safe and visit, but also provide the freedom that people need to access their building.
Maybe just lastly, has Canada and Ottawa changed forever after this?
Well, it's tough to say forever. That's a very long time, but it certainly is. It's going to have some soul searching and some. We're going to have to think a little bit inwardly for a while, which is, I guess that's part of the process. But you know, I'll say this. A few years back, I had a conversation with Kevin Vickers. You know, he was telling me about when he first took on the job and how he first got the job. When he was interviewed, and I think this is something that Kevin Vickers has said in other audiences and other people. So it's not. I'm not saying anything that he wouldn't say out loud. He said, "This is Canada's place," and we were talking about whether or not there should be restrictions placed on those who can enter the grounds of Parliament Hill and be able to enjoy the lawn and that sort of thing. And he said, when I interviewed, one of the things that I really said is that my job is security, but not isolation. And so I hope that we can still keep that balance, as David said.